Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and this is not to back or not to back. Rather, today we are doing the upcoming crowdfunding campaigns for the month of November. And if you're like, isn't it November already? Yes, it is. And yes, I did plan on doing this video on Friday. I know that didn't happen. And so here we are today. We will be back on Monday, or next Monday that is, with our regular to back or not to back, because that series always continues, and it will until crowdfunding goes away, which would be bad. For many, many reasons. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive into this, but as usual, before we start, let's go ahead and start off with reminders to go ahead and subscribe to Shelf Clutter. Shelf Clutter covers these videos every single week on his channel, so if you're looking for the most up-to-date information that covers the most campaigns, we're going to be covering 29 campaigns today, which is not a small amount, but that's with me trying to cut out so many of the campaigns so that we have a manageable video length, and I try to cut out the ones that aren't necessarily as big a deal, or at least perceptually to me, but that means Shelf Clutter is going to have those campaigns. He's going to have the new campaigns that get added throughout the month. He's going to have the most up-to-date changes as things get bumped and moved around, as they very much do on a regular basis as creators try to find the right time to launch their projects. So make sure to subscribe to Shelf Clutter for the most up-to-date information on crowdfunding campaigns. But with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. But wait, we have a word from our not sponsor this week. WSBG. This is not a sponsored video. WSBG has sponsored videos on this channel in the past and might in the future, I don't know. But this is more of a public service announcement because WSBG, World Series of Board Gaming, an event that I am a big fan of and hope to go again this coming year. I haven't made any plans officially, but I do hope to go again this year. But the World Series of Board Gaming is an incredible event, a fantastic event. It's got you competing to win $40,000 in prizes, but more importantly, you will likely have a good time. There's something fun about mastering a game and going into there to actually compete. I managed to compete in Castle of Burgundy and make my way to the second round, which felt exhilarating, and then got destroyed in that. That's not true, I didn't get destroyed. I lost in the next round, but I did get destroyed in the other games I competed in. Castle of Burgundy is the only one that I had a chance. And I mean, my chance got me to round 2, but that's about it. But anyways, it's been fun whether or not I competed. Last year when I went, I didn't compete at all. I just went to have a good time, to play games, to interact with people, and it's generally a great time, and you can go ahead and go there at a relatively reasonable price in my opinion. They have package deals, which basically equate to the cost of staying in Vegas with a hotel room, and you also get to go ahead to go to WSBG at the same time. The reason I'm telling you about this now, again, they're not sponsoring this video, they don't even know I'm doing this video. I'll probably send it to them after though, because why not? But either way, over on Instagram, if you check this out, they have a Vegas 25 early bird discount. Usually they do the biggest possible discount to get in on WSBG is usually done now, right after the event ends. It's going to be running till December 31st. So I may do like another one of these when we get closer. But basically, I want you to have the opportunity to go at the best possible time, even though it means you won't be using my coupon code that I'll get later, and I won't get credit for it and all those things. But that doesn't matter because I want you to be able to go for the best possible price. So public service announcement, WSBG, if you're interested in going, now's the best time to go ahead and lock things in. I'll throw a link to their Instagram down below. But with that, let's go ahead and continue onwards to our campaigns. 29 campaigns to go through, so we're going to spend a few minutes on each one, or that's not true. A few minutes on each one would be an hour and a half long video. We're going to spend 30 seconds on each one, maybe that long. We have Era of Tribes, Second Edition, and Beliefs and Betrayals. Yes, this is a live campaign, but also it launched, a day ago, so I didn't want to be penalized for the fact that my video is late. It is what it is. Now, Era of Tribes, Second Edition, Beliefs is going to be a second edition of Era of Tribes, a very popular worker placement giant empire building game. There's worker placement going on there, I'm pretty sure if I recall correctly. Haven't played this, but did my little research on every game. And it's also going to be giving you this, the expansion Beliefs and Betrayals. We'll likely be covering this on True Back and Knocked Back series soon, so you'll get to see more information there, and on all of these campaigns, honestly. But that's Era of Tribes. We have West Legend Stories launching tomorrow. West Legend Stories will be launching tomorrow. I should have coverage up for you. You can see the box behind me. It's being filmed as soon as I'm done with this video, and then rapidly I'm going to be leaving on a flight internationally right after that, so it's a busy morning for me. Anyways, launching November 5th over here, Western Legend Stories takes Western Legends as a game concept and then turns it into a, not legacy game per se, but an episodic game where you are going to be unlocking this map as you go. So this map's going to start off with a small section, you're going to be adding pieces to it. It kind of combines Western Legends with something like Ticket to Ride, Legends of the West, and gives you a episodic, non-legacy, semi-campaign driven way to play Western Legends, which means I'll probably go through it. Well, you can watch my video tomorrow. Watch my video tomorrow if you want more thoughts. We have Vanguard Normandy over here, a hex-based 1-4 player World War II board game from the Bolt Action team. There's pictures on the website, but I don't have pictures here, so we'll move on to the next one. We have Dungeons of Doria reprint, German, and expansion. This is going to be a reprint of Dungeons of Doria as well as an expansion. A game that does have pretty high ratings on BGG if you want to check that out, although make sure to read the ratings because some people were more critical, some people really liked it. It may or may not be a game for you, but in case it is a game for you, this is your chance to go ahead and get your hands on it. We also have Inheritance by Numble Games. This one seemed very intriguing. I'm not really sure to make of this one. Launching tomorrow. These are all launching on Tuesday so far, but we have 2,500 people back in the campaign over here. following the campaign over here. We have give me a list of names, 24 hours on your desk. This I thought was very weird. Give me a list of names, people from the city, make sure they're hungry, give me my daughter, 24 hours are on your desk, your daughter doesn't want to talk to you. I don't mean if they mean in 24 hours it'll be on your desk. Also, it's confusing if you look at the BG page, there's 24 like personalities you can play as, so I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be 24 people on your desk or 24 names on your desk. I think it's supposed to be names, 24 names on your desk. Your dog doesn't want to talk to you. Apologies, sir. I don't know. Either way, intrigued. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know enough about this game yet. We have Ozob, a cyberpunk board game. This is going to be coming to you from Nonsense Creations. They actually already have the crowdfunding campaign for, I want to say Brazil for this game. Raised like, I think $700,000 or something like that. Doing pretty well over there. But this is going to be for the, for over on the Game Found to the non-Brazilian audience and whatnot. They're going to be launching this and seeing where it goes. It's basically going to be bringing you Ozob, which is a very popular character in Brazil, in a dungeon crawler where you're going to be controlling very zombicide / Cthulhu that may die adjacent, has elements of those types of games. You're going to be basically trying to take down a boss, you're going to be trying to manage your actions, characters are going to be activating after your turns, and you're trying to sync together as you basically go through the variety of scenarios in the game. You can check out content coming on the channel later, but that's basically Ozob right now. We have Onoda from Salt and Pepper Games. This is going to be a solo game featuring the world of, what's his name again? Something Onoda. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Hiro Onoda, who basically was wandering in the jungle for 30 years trying to survive. A very interesting story. A real character, by the way. A real person. You can check him out. He might be alive. I don't know if he's still alive. I don't remember. Either way, 4 days left in the 4 days until this campaign launches, but it's going to be a solo game from Salt and Pepper Games, bringing you another small box game with a very interesting theme. We have Monarch. Monarch's going to be launching, I want to say, actually, I think the campaign's out of order, because I think, is Monarch launching Tuesday or next Tuesday? Monarch might be launching next Tuesday. I don't have to find the date on this one, but it's going to be a 2-player game with a simultaneous hidden movement to capture your opposing monarchs. Players are going to be marching their monarchs and caterpillars around the board. You're going to be taking turns planning a move behind a screen and then resolving it simultaneously. So it's not really hidden movement, it's simultaneous movement and then resolution, and seeing who can win in this 2-player battle of wits. We have Catharsis 2nd Edition Dice Rolling Adventure board game. Catharsis is a fascinating game, a solo and cooperative dice rolling game for 1 to 5 players. Basically, it is a game that's being compared to Dice Throne a lot in many ways, giving you a lot of characters, a lot of rolling dice, trying to activate combos, and it's got great ratings. It's got an 8.8 on Board Game Geek, which is very solid. Again, a smaller pool of people, so it's not a ton, obviously, the more ratings you have, the more things balance out and equalize. But so far, it does seem to be well liked. This one's always been a tricky one for me because I always want to play it based on what I hear about the game, but the art doesn't pull me in, and I do find that is a big facet. It's almost the reverse opposite of Dice Throne. I think Dice Throne is one of the most beautiful games out there, but honestly, Dice Throne, I think that the gameplay is just a good game. It's elevated by the presentation. I need to try Catharsis at some point. I need to see if the gameplay is good enough to overwhelm the fact that I'm just not pulled in by the art enough. But anyway, that's Catharsis over here. Again, we got a few iterations. It's going to be 2nd edition. They're making tweaks and all that. They're upping the size of the dice, things like that. So there are improvements to the game engine over here. And it's got strong solo, strong competitive, strong everything going on. Over here we have Avalon, the Riven Vale, launching November 12th, so next Tuesday basically, from Shadowborn Games, bringing you an area control game set in Arthurian legends, and yes, we'll have content on the channel for you. We have Storyfold Wildwoods, a solo game launching November 12th, again from Open Owl Studios. This is bringing you a solo game where you're going to be opening up a book and going through a sequence of adventures. You should expect content on the channel. So far from playing it, I will say, I need more of the game to see more. I have thoughts. I'll give you thoughts at some point. I'm not doing a full review. I think we're doing a preview on the channel, but make sure to stay tuned for my weekend reviews where I do cover thoughts, especially on preview content and sponsor content. I usually still try to give my thoughts, general quick thoughts on the games, and I do have thoughts on Storyfold. Overall positive, but with some notes, but we'll get into those. But either way, Storyfold looks beautiful, plays well, and gives you a solo challenge using the card mechanism from Arc Nova, where you're going to be having 4 different core actions, and they get more powerful the closer they get to the left, but then also creatures are going to be clogging up your row. Very fascinating game that gives you a episodic adventure to go through, and that's going to be Storyfold from Open Owl Studios. We have World Order, launching November 12th, coming to you from Hegemony Project Games. This is bringing you, these are the creators who brought you Hegemony, and now they're bringing you World Order, a 2 to 4 player, I think it's 2 to 4 player if I'm not mistaken, 2 to 4 player game of area control and deck building and that kind of situation. You're basically going to be building a deck. You're going to start with a deck. You're going to be adding cards to the deck and then taking 4 actions every round, using the remaining cards to power up extra things. So very Dune Imperium-esque. Along the way, you're going to be trying to take control of various regions of the world through either economic, diplomatic, or military control, trying to get your cubes out there and score as many points in this area control puzzle while managing your world economy. Lots going on here. Content coming soon. We have Lairs November 12th. Sorry, Lairs from KTBG, launching November 12th. A 2-player game in their family line, but I think this is one of harmless family line games that I believe adults would definitely enjoy too. KTBG is fascinating as a brand because they're definitely leaning towards being kid-friendly, but they often can be just as enjoyable by adults, and I think Lairs is going to lean into that vein. You're going to have two players, one building, you're going to both be building a dungeon that you each have to go through in the game, and trying to make sure your dungeon is as scary as possible and hard for your opponent to get through in one piece. We have STARLOCK from Den of Imagination, again, another November 12th campaign. This is going to be it's going to be giving you solo, co-op, and competitive, although I believe competitive is the main play mode, and it's going to give you a RTS style game. You're going to have these maps, the game gives you a bunch of maps to go through, you can build your own maps as well, and then you're just basically trying to win however you can. The trailer for the game, if you watch that, gives you a fun little way to win. That's probably not your usual way, but a fun way to win the game. Ballads and Tales, Journey of the Brave, 1 to 5 players. This is going to be a dungeon crawl game. A dungeon crawler is going to give you, well, dungeon tiles and characters and all that. They have a lot more on the webpage, but they don't have a lot more over here, so we're going to move on to Glass Garden, a solo game of growing succulents and minding your critters from Button Shy Games. In general, these games I'm always intrigued by, but whether or not I love this one, don't know yet because I haven't had a chance to try it. We have Captain's Log New Horizons from Piff Games, 9 days to go, so again, another November 12th campaign. This is going to be a giant sandbox adventure of raiding the various seas of the world. This is going to give you 2 expansions, giving you character powers and upgrades and rules and all that, and then another expansion giving you myths and monsters in the game. So 2 expansions, 2 Captain's Log, which is again a decently rated game. You can check it on BGG. Again, smaller pool of ratings, but one that is decently rated by those who have rated it. We have Clans of Caledonia Industria, a game that I still own for the past like 6 years and still haven't played and still should play. If somebody wants to play this game with me on a Board Game Arena, feel free to ping me because I would love to table this game finally, and if it means just playing on a Board Game Arena so that I can finally learn it and decide if it's me before this campaign goes live, that would be great. So feel free to message me. Launching November 13th, Wednesday, November 13th, so we have not a lot of time. Honestly, it's probably not going to be before the campaign, maybe during the campaign. We'll see. Anyways, it's just an open offer. Clans of Caledonia Industria are going to be an expansion for Clans of Caledonia, a game that's very well rated, been out for a very long time, and is finally getting an expansion. It's rare for a game to get an expansion this late in the cycle, but it is happening. We have Lands of Evershade, which is, there we go, Lands of Evershade from Awakened Realms, with 40,000 people following the campaign. This game looks beautiful. You can go ahead and of course, reminder, of course, that I do work for GameFound. GameFound and Awakened Realms do have some shared ownership, but Lands of Evershade over here, this is looks absolutely beautiful from Awakened Realms. Taking a look at the player boards, the maps, like these tiles over here look manageable, look fun. I'm curious about the game. I have not played it yet, but I hope to be playing it over the next week or so because we don't have a lot of time before I actually have to cover it for the campaign. So starting November 14th, this is going to be launching on Thursday, and I'm very intrigued by how well this is going to do and just everything about it. By the time it launches, well, of course, I say by the time it launches, I'll have played it, but that is the game plan. I will have played this probably in the next week or so, and you'll have thoughts at some point when I can do so. Anyways, Tanares Expeditions Central Seas from Doria Games. Again, another one launching. I don't remember the exact date for this one. Launching soon, but I don't know exactly when soon was. November 19th. There we go. November 19th, launching soon over here. Tanares Expeditions is combining the gameplay of Tanares with the roguelite engine, kind of combining their last 2 games, so to speak. Coming to you from Doria Games. Looks good so far, and this is another one that I hope to be playing over the next week or so. Very excited for this one. I have the rulebook. I will be reading it on my international flight, along with many other rulebooks, let's be honest. But either way, Tanares Expeditions, I've loved Tanares Adventures. I really like their last game as well. Very intrigued by it. Need to see more of it, because I only had a prototype with a limited experience. This will probably be the same thing here, but I am excited to dive into it, just given the games they've put out so far. We have Revenant from Mindclash Games, launching November 19th. This is going to be bringing you a worker placement game across 4 rounds, in which you're going to be, well, managing your ships and flying through space, and then occasionally destroying the various enemies you encounter, before jumping your ship to the next location, having to deal with the new enemies and planets and locations there. Had a chance to play half a game so far, but I will be playing this one more before the campaign launches, and you can expect a review of this at some point. Initial first impressions, definitely favorable. We have Vestige from Orange Nebula over here. 5,000 people following the campaign over here. Vestige is going to be taking the Vindication system, but making it different. How different do you ask? I don't know yet, but yes, I will have coverage for you. My coverage for this one will likely be mid-campaign coverage, but you will have something before the campaign ends, so you can go ahead and check out my thoughts and opinions on this. The art looks great. The presentation looks great. That's not a surprise coming from Onab. The question over here is going to be, there's going to be 2 questions, I guess. 1, is this a good game? That's going to be 1 question we have to answer. And then 2, and just as importantly, possibly more importantly given their fan base, is there a reason to own this if you already own Vindication? That's going to be a very interesting question that I do not have an answer for you, because especially because this is based on Vindication, I have to imagine, it's based on that system, but how different it is I don't know. But I have to imagine this is a game I'm going to enjoy. The biggest question is going to be, do you need to spend money on this game if you own Vindication? And I hope to be able to help you with that once I have a chance to table it and give you my thoughts. Then we have Hands in the Sea from Phalanx, 16 days to go, so another one launching on November 19th over here. 3,000 people following the campaign, and Hands in the Sea is going to be kind of based on A Few Acres of Snow. If you've played this game, and Hands in the Sea is already out, it's been out for several years. They're bringing it back to crowdfunding over here and making some changes, updates, but if you've played A Few Acres of Snow, it kind of has that gameplay, but it's different, it's longer, but more intricate, so pros and cons going on to it. But if you're a fan of A Few Acres of Snow, if you're a fan of A Few Acres of Snow, you should definitely check this out. By the way, A Few Acres of Snow is a game that has had so many versions, it had so many offshoots and versions of that game. It's so fascinating. If you actually look at the amount of systems that are based on that game, very intriguing. Anyway, God's Heist from Triton Noir. God's Heist is going to be launching November 19th-ish. No, that seems, yeah, November 19th. It looks like another November 19th campaign. God's Heist is going to be bringing you a co-op game for 1 to 4 players, I think it's 1 to 4, in which you're going to be going through these temples and gathering the various relics and runes, going through a series of adventures. I'll have gameplay content for you, as well as review content for you on God's Heist closer to the campaign. Actually, I think my gameplay is going up this week. Anyways, we have INSANIA, Defend the Roman Empire from Nightmarish Monsters, launching, I think, November 19th, if I'm not mistaken. But this is bringing you, well, a co-op game of defending yourself, defending Rome from various monsters, which is a fascinating time period and combination. Very intrigued by that. One thing I really thought was very fascinating is this over here. They have a little chart over here showing you the more people who follow the campaign, the cheaper the game is going to be, and there's also going to be early bird pricing as well. So if you look at this over here, if they get to like 2,000 followers, the price will drop to 125, and the early bird will drop to 109. That's awesome. That's cool. What I find so intriguing about this is, first of all, this is like a nice callback to old school, like, oh, the more people back, the lower things get and all that. I think that's great. I think it's very cool. But they're doing it based on follower count, not based on backers, which means they're giving a high incentive to follow, but that might not translate into the same amount of backers, so this can backfire on them depending on how this goes. Like, right now doing this video, maybe 3,000 people decide, you know what the heck, let's go ahead and follow the campaign. If I want it, if 3,000 of you go follow the campaign right now, the price drops from $129 to $115. You'll be saving potentially yourself $14, possibly more, but also because you're following it, you're actually saving $16. You're getting that early bird pricing. You'll know about it. You're dropping your price to $99. That's awesome. And there's no harm, no foul. If you don't want it, just don't back it. The problem is that might work, but they might not get 3,000 extra backers. They might get 500 extra backers, and maybe they're... Either way, kudos to them for doing this. Hope it works out for them. Hope it doesn't backfire. And also, if you're in any way potentially interested in this campaign, you should be following the campaign right now. And also, if you are Seavert Games, you should know that your follower to backer ratio might not be as good as you want it to be based on how many people follow for that. It's all these games you play in crowdfunding. This is just dangerous games you play. We have Defenders of the Realm Legends Edition launching in again November 19th over here, coming to BackKit. This is coming to you from Greater Than Games, and this is bringing you Defenders of the Realm back to your tabletop, but with a redone version of the game. I had a chance to play this at PAX Unplugged last year, not this year. Only a few rounds of the game, so I did not get to finish it by any means, but I definitely enjoyed it and recommend it based on my partial play of the game. But that's not a review. That's just hey, I got my feet wet, so to speak, and enjoyed what I saw so far. Again, I'm always cautious when I have strong first impressions because they do sometimes get tempered. It depends. Maybe 25% of the time a first impression drops a little bit. I don't know exactly how much. I think I'll enjoy this no matter what, but my first partial play was like, ooh, I really like this, and it might drop to I like this, or it might stay at I really like this, or it might even go higher. Time will tell, but for right now, I just don't have the answer yet. Then we have over here the Wasted Parts from Sky Kingdom Games. This is going to be a solo or cooperative game in which you're going to be a strategy game which can be building out your machine. You're building out the rooms of your mech over here, and then you'll be taking on the various enemies. So a weird combination of genres that I'm very excited for, very intrigued by. No idea if I like it, but definitely excited for it because it seems like the kind of engine that I'd enjoy. A little bit of like, just engine building and tableau building combined with a Zombicide-esque defending against the hordes. Seems interesting. No idea if it'll work for me, but very, very excited for this campaign. And then we have over here, we have Iron Core from Magister Games. 2,000 people following this one. This is going to be a sandbox game set in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world. Humanity has been driven to piracy as you secure a brighter future. I will have content in this game as it gets closer. This is going to be launching November 25th. And then lastly, we have La Pâtisserie Rococo. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm sorry. This is based on Cookie Champion, which was a failed launch that was based on Rococo. That kind of rethemed Rococo, but also didn't make it seem like it was set in the Rococo universe. This is taking that gameplay and making it a bit more Rococo adjacent to target that audience, because the game's supposed to be building off some core elements of Rococo while making it shorter and more accessible. So that's what's going on over here, and I believe this is launching at the end of the month. Which means it is time for our picks of the month over here. It's time for our picks of the month. I'll be picking 3 games that I am the most excited for this month. It's going to be a hard month, honestly, because there are a bunch. Let me go ahead and just find the ones I have, because I know 2 of them offhand. I actually remember the other ones. Oh, this is so hard. This is so hard. We got 2. This is tough. I'm trying to knock it down. There's a lot of games that I'm very, very excited for. But I'm going to go with 2 over here that... yeah, I think... Sorry, the third one, I'm gonna go with it. Okay, cool. So here's my picks in order of 3, 2, and 1. And again, it's hard over here. There's a lot that could be my number 3. I just had a hard time narrowing down. My number 3 is going to be Western Legend Stories. I did really enjoy my plays of this so far. It is a prototype with only a partial taste of the experience, so I do need more time with it. It is very much early, but like, I very much enjoyed what I got, and so this is going to be my number 3 pick of the month. My number 2 is going to be, where is it? The Waste of Parts over here. Like I said, oh no, I just closed it. I closed the Waste of Parts. I'm sorry, so we're going to have to open it up again over here in a tab. The Waste of Parts. Give me a second. Bear with me. The Waste of Parts. Because I feel like it should be on the page when I say it. It's my second pick over here. But The Waste of Parts, definitely my second pick of the month over here. Very interested in it. Don't know if it'll work for me or not. And then easily my pick of the month is going to be Vestige. Vestige is a tricky one because, again, I can't say who this is for yet. I can't say the difference between this and Vindication. But because Vindication was my number 1 game of all time last year, it's very hard for this to not be my pick of the month. And that's going to be Vestige from Orange Nebula. And that is your upcoming crowdfunding campaigns for the month of November. Reminder to go ahead and subscribe to Shelf Clutter if you want the most up-to-date information. And until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you have a good one. I was getting surgery last week, and I asked my surgeon whether I could administer my own anesthetic. And she said, "Go ahead, knock yourself out."